Prime Minister Narendra Modi's government has replaced the name India with a Sanskrit word in dinner invitations sent to guests attending this week's Group of 20 G20 summit, triggering speculation that the name of the country will be officially changed.
इंडिया का नाम अब भारत करने को लेकर एक तरफ हमारे देश में विवाद हो गया है। देश का नाम बदलने को लेकर कई राजनीतिक पार्टियां आपस में भिड़ गई हैं, तो वहीं दूसरी ओर अब इस मामले की चर्चा दूसरे देशों में भी शुरू हो गई।
Draupadi Murmu is referred to as President of Bharat instead of President of India in the invitation sent to G20 attendees on Tuesday. India is hosting the annual G20 summit in New Delhi on Saturday and Sunday. Many world leaders, including U.S. President Joe Biden and French President Emmanuel Macron, will attend. The nation of more than 1.4 billion people is officially known by two names, India and Bharat, but the former is most commonly used, both domestically and internationally. Hindustan is another word for the nation and is often used in literature and other forms of popular culture. Bharat is an ancient Sanskrit word that many historians believe dates back to early Hindu texts. The word is also used as a Hindi option for India. Officials of Modi's right-wing Bharatiya Janata Party, BJP, back the change in nomenclature. They argue that the name India was introduced by British colonials and is a symbol of slavery. The British ruled India for about 200 years until the country gained independence in 1947. The BJP has long tried to erase names related to India's Mughal and colonial past. The government has been accused of pursuing a nationalist agenda aimed at forming an ethnic Hindu state out of a constitutionally secular India. In 2015, New Delhi's famous Aurangzeb Road, named after a Mughal king, was changed to Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam Road after protests from Modi's party leaders. Last year, the government also renamed a colonial-era avenue in the heart of New Delhi that is used for ceremonial military parades. Modi's government says the name changes are an effort to reclaim India's Hindu past. Before going onward, please subscribe to our channel and smash the bell icon to get notification of new video. So where does the name Bharat come from? The roots of Bharat, Bharata, or Bharatvarsha are traced back to Puranic literature and to the epic Mahabharata. The Puranas describe Bharata as the land between the sea in the south and the abode of snow in the north. Social scientist Catherine Clementon Ojha explained Bharata in the sense of a religious and socio-cultural entity, rather than a political or geographical one. Bharata refers to the super-regional and subcontinental territory where the Brahmanical system of society prevails, Clementon Ojha wrote in her 2014 article, India, that is Bharat. One country, two names, South Asia Multidisciplinary Academic Journal. Bharata is also the name of the ancient king of legend, who was the ancestor of the Rig Vedic tribe of the Bharatas and, by extension, the progenitor of all peoples of the subcontinent. And what about India and Hindustan? The name Hindustan is thought to have derived from Hindu, the Persian cognate form of the Sanskrit Sindhu, Indus, which came into currency with the Achaemenid Persian conquest of the Indus Valley, northwestern parts of the subcontinent, that begin in the 6th century BC, which was the time of the Buddha in the Gangetic Basin. The Achaemenids used the term to identify the lower Indus Basin, and from around the 1st century of the Christian era, the suffix stan came to be used with the name to create Hindustan. The Greeks, who had acquired knowledge of Hind from the Achaemenids, transliterated the name as Induses. By the time the Macedonian king Alexander invaded India in the 3rd century BC, India had come to be identified with the region beyond the Indus. By the time of the early Mughals, 16th century, the name Hindustan was used to describe the entire Indo-Gangetic plain. Historian Ian J. Barrow, in his article, From Hindustan to India, Naming Change in Changing Names, Journal of South Asian Studies, 2003, wrote that in the mid to late 18th century, Hindustan often referred to the territories of the Mughal emperor, which comprised much of South Asia. From the late 18th century onwards, British maps increasingly began to use the name India, and Hindustan started to lose its association with all of South Asia. Part of the appeal of the term India may have been its Greco-Roman associations, its long history of use in Europe, and its adoption by scientific and bureaucratic organizations such as the Survey of India, Barrow wrote. The adoption of India suggests how colonial nomenclature signaled changes in perspectives and helped to usher in an understanding of the subcontinent as a single bounded and British political territory, he added. India's opposition parties, however, criticized the government's move. Rashtrapati Bhawan has sent out an invite for a G20 dinner on September 9th in the name of President of Bharat, instead of the usual President of India. Jairam Ramesh, leader of the main opposition party, the Indian National Congress, wrote on Tuesday on X, formerly known as Twitter. Now, Article 1 in the Constitution can read, Bharat, that was India, shall be a union of states. But now even this union of states is under assault, he added. Congress legislator Shashi Tharoor said Indians should continue to use both words rather than relinquish our claim to a name redolent of history, a name that is recognized around the world. While there is no constitutional objection to calling India Bharat, which is one of the country's two official names, I hope the government will not be so foolish as to completely dispense with India, which has incalculable brand value built up over centuries. He posted on X, BJP President Jagat Prakash Nadda slammed the Congress party. Why does the Congress have so much objection to every subject related to the honor and pride of the country? He posted on X, it is clear that Congress neither respects the country, nor the Constitution, nor the constitutional institutions. Disputes over India versus Bharat have gained ground since opposition parties in July announced a new alliance called the Indian National Developmental Inclusive Alliance, or India.
Indian National Developmental Inclusive Alliance.
To unseat Modi and defeat his party in national elections in 2024. Since then, some officials in Modi's party have demanded that the country be called Bharat instead of India. Many Indian media outlets, citing sources on Tuesday, reported that the government might bring a resolution to that effect during a special parliament session this month. However, the government has not revealed the agenda for the session to be held September 18th, 22. Let's see if the name of India changes to Bharat in the next few days. You can give your feedback in the comments.